Guys, what's up? Welcome back here to another episode of Intuitive Angling for a rare on the water video. You guys have been asking for it, so here we are out on the water. And what we're going to do today, guys, is I'm going to show you what a prime pre-spawn staging bank looks like, as far as how it's set up, how you want to fish it, and why the fish use it this time of year. I think it's going to add up to some quality fish for you guys over the next month or so. Also, guys, before we get started in today's video, just a quick reminder about our February sale on my solar bat. These are the RB3 series. You can get them at 25% off during the whole month of February. And any purchase over $100 you make, you get a $25 mystery bag from Solar Bat. So I'll put the link in the description there. Appreciate you guys checking that out. And also, please check out our Tackle Warehouse spring fishing sale. I'll link that in the description. They got a bunch of good sales on fishing tackle, 25-30% off on a bunch of stuff. So much appreciated you guys using those links. So anyway, guys, let's talk a little bit about a staging area, and then I'm going to show you what it is. A staging area is a part of the lake where the bass start to move up out of deeper water, and they start positioning on these what are called staging areas prior to going into shallow areas to spawn. Now, depending upon the lake that you're fishing, staging areas can be different, but for the most part, a staging area is some type of a steeper channel swing bank adjacent to a cove. So I've got a good one right here. I'm going to turn the camera around. I'm going to run you down this bank, show you what to look for, and sort of describe it a little bit. So here we go. Okay, guys, here's a really good example of a prime pre-spawn staging area. You guys hear me talk about it a lot in the videos as far as fish using staging areas. Now, what this is a channel bank. If you can see the lake down through here, the old creek channel comes right along this bank right here, and it turns steep, and then it runs all the way down through here like this. And a staging area for a pre-spawn bank are these steep banks adjacent to the main river channel that are close by a cove. Now you can see up there, that light bank up there, that's a key spawning cove. So I'm gonna troll you up in through there and show you sort of what these fish do. Now what happens is a lot of these fish that are just out here roaming in open water, that all the spotlighters catch and everything, those fish over here eventually are going to start pulling up to these steeper channel banks right here. And they position on these channel banks anywhere between, say, 5 to 10 foot of water, depending upon your water visibility. A lot of them are up here rooting around looking for crawdads in the rocks here. It's just a really good area because not only can they use the bottom on these steeper banks, but they can suspend out here off them just a little bit. Now, the prime techniques for these spawning areas are a couple of different things, again, based upon your water visibility. You can take and you can fish a crankbait along them if it's not too steep of a drop off. One of my favorite ways to fish them is either to pitch a jig right up to the bank and just work it down to 5 or 10 feet of water, maybe slow roll a spinnerbait off it. Or if the water visibility is pretty clean, like if you've got 3 to 4 foot of water visibility, you can parallel these banks off a little bit deeper here, because some of those pre-spawn fish will stage out here suspending if it's a little bit cleaner. Or if you have water visibility of under 3 feet, they're going to be tighter up to these rocks here. So the best part, now you can see the spawning cove coming up on here. The key areas for a staging area are from the point leading into the spawning area down maybe probably, I don't know, 100, maybe 200 yards. That sort of is like the sweet spot you want to look for. And another key area on a pre-spawn staging bank is the point leading into the spawning cove here. Now the points can be, they can be steep, they can be flat, whatever, but right around here is a super high percentage area. This area leading right up to the main point here, because again, these fish like to set right here next to this point. They can move to the point here, they can feed, they can slip out to deeper water and go deeper or suspend. And they usually hang out right here, excuse me, on these steeper banks for about a month or two until that water temperature starts to get up around 60. And once that water temperature starts to get 60, these fish that are suspended out here and on this channel bank are going to pull up into this spawning cove right here. And they're going to go back in here, depending upon, the cover that they have. They're going to move back in the back of this pocket here, and then they're going to start their spawning routine. Okay, guys, there's a prime example of a good staging area that we're talking about. Now, what you want to look for as far as the time to fish these, it's all about, it's a combination of two different things. It's a combination of the increase of having the longer daylight hours as we get more into spring, and water temperature with that. Now, for the most part, these fish are going to start moving up into those staging areas once that water temperature starts warming up, say 5 to 7 degrees above its coldest point in the winter. So say, for example, your water temperature bottoms out at 42 degrees in the middle of the winter where you're fishing. Once that water temperature starts to get like in the upper 40s, those fish are going to start transitioning to those staging areas. At least a percentage of the fish are, and they're going to stay there until that water temperature gets into the, say, the mid to upper 50s. Now, once that water temperature starts hitting like 57, 58, 59, they're going to start moving back into those flatter spawning areas that I'm talking about. But the main thing, guys, is when you're talking about like the month of February and early March, maybe into mid-March, depending upon what part of the country you're in, try to concentrate on those staging areas. Get on those steeper banks, channel swing banks where you got deep water close to it. And I talked about the jig and the crankbait and the jerk bait and that type of stuff, just fishing the rock. But also don't ever pass up any type of wood cover. If you guys have a stump or a lay down tree on a channel bank, that's a high percentage area for a jig. Also make sure you pay attention to any type of rock transitions or any irregular features in the bank. Those are going to be other high percentage areas. But anyway, guys, that's where those big ones go, man. I'm telling you, once that if you can, ideal scenario, if you get out there on a day where the water temperature, say 52, 53 degrees, you got like a, partly cloudy day with like a 10-mile-an-hour wind, that is a perfect scenario to catch some good fish on those staging banks. So hope it helps out. We'll talk later.